Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the Female Podcast. This is your host, Lawrence. I am your amazing host of this show, and I have an amazing guest that I'm going to be bringing you on today. Let me get my music going because we like the music, right? So let's get some music flowing here so we can get into the groove. So last week we had a phenomenal guest, Kendra Landers, and she shared her experience working that 9 to 5 and coming into that entrepreneurship. So this week we have another phenomenal female entrepreneur who's going to be spitting some amazing gems regarding entrepreneurship and sharing her journey. So I'm going to read a little bit about her. But before I do, let me just let you know what I do. You all know me as Lawrence, a photographer, but clearly I am more than just a photographer. I am a founder, I'm a visionary, I am a trailblazer. So this is one of the platforms that we have founded, the Female Podcast, where the Female Factor Podcast, where we bring guests in to discuss their journey as female entrepreneurs and their struggles and challenges that they may have faced as well. And so we want to highlight their voices and just let our women entrepreneurs know that we hear them, we are listening, and we want them to be heard. And then, of course, I also have Powerhouse, which is a community that I also created that we use to celebrate and empower women in business. And then you all, of course, again, know me as a photographer, Chapter 8 Studio. Our primary clients are actually female entrepreneurs, which is why I wanted to create or curate multiple spaces that help empower women in business. So today we have Dr. Sheila R. Smith. I'm going to turn a little to the side here as I read a quick bio of Dr. Smith. And once I read that bio, we're going to bring her on the platform so that she can introduce herself to you all. And then we're going to get some questions flowing. And then I'll give her the last few minutes of our segment where she can share what she does and how you can connect with her. So, Dr. Sheila R. Smith is a renowned entrepreneur and personal development expert, has transformed lives worldwide. With 30 plus years of experience, she's a best selling author, strategist, and host of Lifestyle Mastery. Despite challenges, she launched successful ventures, authored books, and mentored others. Dr. Smith's groundbreaking initiative, Grandmas in Business, supports women over 45 seeking reinvention. Through her TV show, books, and speeches, she motivates countless individuals. Driven by perseverance, passion, and purpose, she proves it's never too late to achieve dreams. A true visionary, Dr. Smith inspires people of all ages to live their best lives, embodying the power of resilience and empowerment. So, without further ado, we're going to bring Dr. R. Smith, Sheila R. Smith, onto the platform. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. So
Hey,
welcome. How
so
are
glad to
you?
be here.
Yes, we're so glad to
I
have
am.
you. Oh my goodness, I remember when we were planning this whole thing, and I said, I have to have you on the show, right? Like, come on. And you were just so willing to jump on board at any moment to be on this show. So we appreciate your willingness to help support this vision and this platform. So yeah, how are you? What's going
Oh
on?
my goodness, I am honored to be on the show, The Female Factor. You are truly a trailblazer, and I'm looking forward to being here.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to this segment too. So let's start off with just learning more about you, Dr. Sheila. Tell us a little bit about what you do. I know we've read this amazing bio, so tell us some more things that you're doing here in 2023. Tell us.
Oh my goodness. You know what? The main thing is that I want to do is to empower, encourage, and inspire people to be the best that they can be. What does that mean? Whether you're someone that is still in a 9 to 5, someone that's afraid to leave the 9 to 5, just needs a little side hustle to get through so that they can know that there is another side to that journey of finally becoming an entrepreneur, or just someone that needs to make a couple of dollars. I just want to be able to help that person wherever they are in the journey so that they can do what it is that they want to do to best help their families.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. So you said you cover all spectrums, whether you're just starting the 9 to 5. And I know the especially with your TV show, The Lifestyle Master, I really want to know more about that because that taps into equipping individuals and helping people really stand in their journey. And it covers so many spectrums and not just a business, but personal life, personal development. So
Yes.
tell me, through Lifestyle Mastery, how do you help empower people in their journey?
I bring people on that, let's say, for instance, bringing a photographer on. What if someone, what if someone wants to learn the art of photography and always wanted to break into that business? I bring someone like you on, and it gives them the ability to reach you. Or I bring someone else like my guest that's coming up tomorrow, Remy Jules. He is someone that is into the independent living space where he teaches people how to create an income with no money. So
Mm,
I'm bringing people that can help assist people in getting to the bag, so they say, getting to the money so that they can have the help that they need, so that they could finally, even if they retire, but they didn't
mhm,
retire with enough money, they can have a way of implementing their income so that they don't have to go and be a Walmart greeter, so
yeah,
that they can have some other way of sustaining themselves. So
yes.
whether it's just doing that, or if it's just someone that wants to add a little extra to the table every month, they have a way of doing so.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think that's really important now with the economy situation that we're in now. There are a lot of people who are struggling financially and they need that extra help in order to just make ends meet. It used to be that 9 to 5 was the very thing that kept people going, but nowadays it's almost like the 9 to 5 is really not enough. You need that plus that
You
extra
do.
income, whatever job that you will have or hobby that brings in extra cash flow, or even a business that you may start, a home business. So like it's having those resources is very very important. And I'm hearing two things. Number one, I'm hearing a connector,
Yes,
someone who has access to multiple resources and can connect you to the right people to help you build. But the other thing that I noticed too is that many times we are involved into doing something that we might have lacked through our growth and development. Um,
mm,
and so, especially when it comes to connecting people with resources, do you have a journey where, or a past where resources were very hard for you to obtain? And is that why you're so passionate about connecting people with different resources?
absolutely. I was a single mother for a very long time, and a mother at the age of 18 with three small children.
Mm.
I am to today a grandmother of 14 and a
Woo!
mother of four adult children. And when I was raising children, the resources, even the people weren't there to discuss where I could go, what I can
Mhm,
do, how to even find the resources. And
mhm,
the people that knew about the resources weren't willing to talk about it. They weren't
mhm.
willing to really share the information. So I had to dig and look and find under every rock. I decided that I wasn't going to be that person that was going to hide the information that I got. So I
Mhm.
shouted from the mountaintops, where to find it. And I want to bring and curate the best people on the show possible so that they can have the free information so that they can help the people that they love.
Yes, wow, I love it. And I share that same passion, and I think that's probably why I'm so passionate about making sure, like even with Powerhouse, having resources, building up the connections, because it's not easy when you're doing this by yourself, and like you said, information is just hidden, which it shouldn't be hidden, right? Like none of this stuff shouldn't be hidden from us, but unfortunately, with the way certain systems are set up, you have to really fight through so much to get through something that should be accessible for us. So, of course, with this podcast here, it's all about two things. Number one, it's about changing the game, the business game. And
Mm.
so we're going to kind of go into that piece, but also we want to hear some of the unique challenges that you may have faced being a female entrepreneur. Something that you said that was very similar to our previous guest is that there were children involved while you were actually building and pursuing. And so we're going to talk about that. But let's first talk about how are you changing the business game? Like, what are some innovative things that you have happening right now that is not really seen everywhere?
Well, I thank God for AI.
Ooh.
So, people my age, and I'm not trying to get into that number, but people my age are afraid of AI.
Mm,
I embrace AI because I don't want to be left behind. And
yeah.
there's a lot of ways of making money through AI with almost $0 needed. And that's some of the things that I like to bring my guests on and talk about, where I'm not hiding. I'm giving like lists and lists
Hmm.
of tools so that they can know that there is a way. You don't have to feel alone. We're here for you. We have a list. We have a list that's free. We're
Hmm.
willing to give it to you. Just ask. And that's one of the ways that I'm trying to change the game by not keeping it hid under a bushel and just freely give, because someone
Absolutely.
was kind enough to freely give it to me. So
Mm,
I want to give it back to others so that they can have the list, so that they can go forward and create a stream or streams of income.
absolutely. Look, I like that correction. Streams of income. And
Yeah.
so let's dive into some of the challenges here. So
Yeah.
like you shared, you had there were three children with you while you were in the process of like building the empire that you have today. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
So what I did when I had my last child, I was at the age of 18. I
Mhm.
said, I'm going to work a regular job because I don't know, no one's there to teach me. I don't know the steps. I don't know any of that.
Mhm.
And back then there was no internet, there was no Google, there was none of
Mhm.
that. In the mid 80s, okay? And so I had to work regular jobs
Yeah.
until I realized that not only can I work a regular job, but on the
Mhm.
side, I can work another job that's like what is it called back then? It was like a contract type of job,
Mhm.
so that I can work for myself on the side, but I can still work for an employer. So I still had the benefits and I still had everything, but yet I worked for myself. And what
Mhm.
I did was I worked my way up the ladder with the W, or the what is that, the I-9 job, so that I could,
Mhm.
once I saw that my money was getting higher with the outside job, then I felt comfortable enough to leave the employer job.
Mhm.
I had a lot of challenges because the employer, if a child was sick, I had to call out. I had
Mhm.
no one to babysit, so I had to be out. I couldn't afford a babysitter. If they had to go to the doctor, if there was a school trip, I had a lot of challenges because the employers weren't willing to hear that.
Mm.
They didn't want to hear that. They didn't care I didn't have a man in the house. They did not care. And, they have a business to run. Totally understand that. But there's
Yeah.
really nothing there was no help for us at that time. It's a lot better now, but still there's a struggle. And
Yeah.
so while trying to become an entrepreneur, but still being in a regular 9 to 5 and still having a lot of children was really difficult. So I had to save every penny from the outside job until it far surpassed for at least 8 months. Then I felt confident enough to say, I'm going to make this full time.
Wow. Powerful. And what I'm hearing, because I'm very much solution driven in terms of these conversations, is if had you had a village, it would not have taken away from the journey itself, but it definitely would have made it slightly easier to endure because of the idea of, or not idea, because there's the reality of you having to call off, having to tend to your children because there was no extra help in the household. And so that I know there were many opportunities that may have came up as far as like as an entrepreneur that you had to simply say no because it would have interfered with how home affairs. And so, fellas, if you're listening to this, if you're watching the replay, one of the bigger solutions, if we have our sisters, our cousins, who may not be married and they're raising their children on their own, be that village. Be that village, and that's not just for men, but also for women. If you notice that you have a sister, a relative that is trying to manage things on their own, and they're trying to pursue something bigger than them, be the village for them because it helps having that extra hand, being able to call upon you when you can't call off work because you have this promotion on the line that is going to help better your home altogether. Like all of those things, like they really matter. I think about when my wife and I were carrying our twins, we had a village around us, and we're married, but we still had a village. We had people who were able to pick up Jaden from school if we were tied up or if we were at the hospital taking care of an appointment or just things. So having that village. I mean, if I'm a married position, if that was like a must have, I can only imagine being single, how much more of a need that village would be for them. So I'm so happy that you have been transparent with us and sharing that side of your experience. And I'm pretty sure there are many women out there um, who are either going through that same process or they can look back on that process and say, "Yep, that's what I went through." It's and it's unfortunate that it becomes one of those things like it is what it is, but it doesn't always have to be that way. And that's where our whole purpose, our function from this podcast is to bring awareness and solutions and ways we can like make changes and be
Yeah.
more better assistants to women in business. And so I really appreciate you sharing. I'm pretty sure there's so much more that could be unpacked, and we might have to have an encore and bring you back on the show to share some more stuff. But what I would like to do now, because from my understanding, you do offer coaching, right? Whether it's professional, like business coaching, or individual, what do you call it? Personal development coaching. Is that correct?
I do. I do. And for that, they could go to SheilaRSmith.com.
So what we're going to do, because I want to put that on the screen.
Okay.
So I'm going to get that. So it's Sheila R. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me working on the spot.
You got it. And my Calendly link is on that website.
Perfect. Okay. So the website is the best way for them to connect with you, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to drop off the screen. I'm going to give you some minutes to kind of talk a bit about your coaching, and how it can really help people who are interested, and obviously the way they can connect with you. Okay.
Got it. Again, my name is Dr. Sheila Smith. Here we go. Let's take that off. I am an author, speaker, motivational speaker, and a one-on-one coach, and I would love to speak with you. My website again is SheilaRSmith.com. I offer one-on-one coaching. I offer group coaching. And what I want to do is to help empower you get to the next level in your life, because it is hard, like Lawrence said, to do it alone. It's hard to do it by yourself. And so you don't have to do it by yourself. You are here and you can be with us, and we can be that village that you've been looking for and that you need. We're also coming out with Grandmas in Business, which is that for that age of 45 and older, because we need, as women older, we're trying to figure out, what do we do in the second stage of our lives after the children are gone, they're empty, we're empty nesters and all of that. What can we do? Where can we go? How do we figure out what we want to end the second part of our lives? And so I'm here to assist with that. But you can find all of that information at SheilaRSmith.com. But there's also another website that we have for the TV show, which is lifestylemastery.club. So I am excited. Thank you, Lawrence, for this time. I'm so excited to connect with your audience. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And I want to just take a second to show that lifestylemastery.club. So definitely connect with her. I had an honor of, I was honored to be a guest on her show last week. So, or this week. It was actually last week.
Yes.
Look, see. So thank you so much for sharing that information. You guys definitely need to connect with her for that professional and personal development. And she is a connector. So not only will she give you the tools to help build yourself, but she's going to connect you with the right people that's going to advance your building as well. So, and I'm a living witness. But I tell you, when she pours, she pours, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's her way. It's like her love language.
It truly is. You're so right.
Yeah. So this concludes our segment. We're going to say salutations to Doctor. Well, this is not a goodbye. This is going to be a see you later, because again, we're going to have an encore and get you back on the show. But we thank you so much for taking out your time and your busy schedule to even show up and show out. You hear me? So
for you, anything.
Thank you so much. So you know how it is. We'll be talking later. So I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Dr. Sheila.
So welcome.
All right, you guys. So there we have it. Dr. Sheila R. Smith telling her story of how she overcame some of the hardest obstacles of raising children, working a 9-to-5, working contractual work as well, and working our way up the corporate ladder all at the same time. And I know there are thousands of women that can really relate to her experience and her journey. And so I hope some of the things that she might have said would have encouraged you and brought back even some of those gratifying memories and just reminding yourself that you are an awesome woman in entrepreneurship. You're an awesome woman in general, and that anything is possible as long as you keep pushing. And for the fellas, I hope that we really grab or held on to the solution of being that village for our women, and being that support, making sure that they feel secure in what they're doing. It doesn't require any type of marital connection. We have relatives, we have sisters, we have cousins that are trying to accomplish their dreams and their purpose in business, and if they're a single parent, they have a lot of work on their hands. But you know what? We can be there to be their village, to be their support, and to help push them along the way. So until next time, I want you guys to make sure that you are checking out our website, as I put it here, chapterastudio.com/ the female factor. You'll be able to watch the replay. You'll be able to watch other episodes as well. And if you want to become a guest on the podcast, then you'll be able to submit that request from the website. On the other side, I do want to invite you to our virtual meetup, which I believe is actually next week. Let me double check. I need a calendar. But if I'm not mistaken, on the 30th of May, or it was, or is it the 30th? Okay, so it's not next week, it's the following week. We will be having our virtual meetup for Powerhouse. We meet on Zoom. We will be streaming on the Facebook page that we're streaming now, which is Powerhouse. But if you're wanting to actually be a part of the breakout room sessions where we're networking with one another, then you definitely want to be in the Zoom versus watching live on Facebook, because that's where we're going to be able to actually connect with everyone. And I will be the keynote speaker for that virtual meetup, speaking on how to actually boost your brand visibility through photography, of course. So I hope to see you all. There is registry required. You can register at Chapter 8, no, Powerhouse .club. Or actually coming to the Facebook page of Powerhouse, you'll be able to register, because the Zoom registration link is on the Facebook, in the Facebook group. So without further ado, we're going to call this a quiz for today. Thank you so much for watching the replay. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as Facebook. And you all have a wonderful week. See you next time.